How do you make consistent gains in life, in fitness and nutrition, and really everything that moves you from swimming upstream to actually living at a higher level? Stand by.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off and the clock has started.
And a great good day to each and every one of you bright, shining souls, wherever you are, and welcome to Balanced Fit Radio. Conversations on strength, meaning, and the human experience. I'm your host, Scott Schroeder, and this voice will never be AI generated. It's always me here, y'all, imperfect and made of human DNA. No robot voices here. But this is a small slice of the communication landscape where fitness meets psychology, philosophy, and real life, because true wellness is about more than just the body, isn't it? It's about balance. All right, let's get into it. Today, we're talking about ruts and routines. And no one wants to be stuck in a rut. We all agree on that. But say the word routine out loud and watch what happens. Some people recoil in horror, like you just suggested they join a monastery, eat plain oatmeal forever, and surrender their soul to beige. And I suspect the people who react that way fall largely into two groups. And we got group one, that's your codependent saboteurs. These are folks who, you know them. They offer you a cigarette when they know you're trying to quit smoking. Come on, man, just hit this heater, man. You know you want it. It's not going to kill you. Not just this one. I don't know why I went redneck. It's my default, I guess. This type of person will also bring you donuts when you're trying to cut sugar, or they bring you cookies and they say, but you love cookies. You love cookies. Why would you deprive yourself? Just have some. You know the type. These people are not evil. Most of them anyway. They're just uncomfortable. Because when you try to improve your life, it reminds them that they aren't trying to improve theirs, and that stinks. Misery loves company, as we know, and it hates watching someone leave the party. Then you got group two. This is the whimsy crowd. Oh, the whimsy crowd. Oh, how we love whimsy. This group is the wherever the wind takes me crowd. You know them? I'm just stop right here. You know, it's story time with Scooter. My wife and I went to Glacier National Park several years ago, and it was an epic trip. It required a lot of planning, a lot of logistics, a lot of things moving around. We flew into Spokane, Washington, rented a car, picked up our rental car, and drove across Idaho. We stayed in Sand Point and went to Coeur d'Alene, hiked Schweitzer Mountain, did that kind of thing because, hey, we were out there. We live in South Carolina. It's not very often that we're going to be in Idaho and Montana. And then we made our way on over to the park, to Glacier National Park. Came in on the east or the west side over there. If you've never been to Glacier National Park, please go, but be mindful about when you go. Pick a time that's not peak time during Memorial Day and Labor Day. Try to go a little before, a little after. That's my advice to you. And also, it'll shorten the lines to get in, and you'll have a better time. Anyway, that was part of our planning, is when we're going to go. So my wife and I planned this trip to the nth degree because, as I said, we're traveling all the way across the country. It's very hard to get to this place. I don't know if we'll ever get back. We'd like to get back. We plan to go back, but you never know. So we're hikers. We're adventurers. We're going to this epic place, and we want to do certain hikes. We have a limited amount of time. We need to see certain things. We know how through research, we learned how crowded the trails get, how tough it can be getting in and out of places. There's no Wi-Fi to speak of out there. So planning while you're there is kind of tough. You got to do your stuff ahead of time and make your list and do all your things. That is if you really want to experience the things you want to experience. And we created which we did. Spoiler. We hiked the trails we wanted to hike. We saw the things we wanted to see. We enjoyed the hell out of this trip. And I think that if we hadn't planned it, if we just sort of flown by the seat of our pants, we would not have enjoyed it that much. Because honestly, people, I hate sitting in the car. There are very few things in this universe that I would want to do less than sit in a car, driving or riding. I can't, it's such a waste of time to me. Anyway, we made a vlog of our trip because we thought it would be helpful, because we worked hard on this and we had to do a lot of work, and we thought if there's anybody out there traveling who's like us, maybe they could find this useful. Not everyone's like us and not everyone wants to do this, and that's fine, but here's the information if you want it. And we got a lot of comments that generally fell into two camps. The first camp was the celebratory, this is the greatest thing I've seen. Thank you so much. We were planning for this. This really helps a lot. Wow, this is great information, blah, blah, blah. And those people, very nice folks. And then there was the really boisterous crowd who, ironically, these are the go with the flow whimsy types. You better go with the flow or they're going to come at you. How could you do? You ruined your trip. You did this. You planned it so much. We just like to go out there and just sit in an Adirondack chair by Lake McDonald and watch the sunset. And you know what? That's fantastic. But that is not what I wanted to do, because I can do that here. I can do that at home. I don't need to do that there. I'm in the epic Northern Rockies. I might not ever see this again. I'm going to get after it. And in order to get after it, I needed to plan it. So you take your whimsy, and if that makes you happy, that's fantastic. But I can't roll that way. So every time I think about this subject, planning, routines, all that kind of stuff, I think about that trip and about the response to what we got is that the borderline hate comments on how could you plan that trip to you're over planned it, you didn't really fully enjoy it. Yes, we did. We enjoyed it to the max. So listen, there's 8.5 billion people in the world. Everybody's got to do their own thing. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to put information out there that maybe you can find helpful. And listen, I'm not anti-whimsy. We need whimsy. By the way, I hate that word. Whimsy. Life without whimsy is a little bleak, so you need it. But honestly, people, the Disneyfication of adulthood has gotten a little out of hand here. We need a few more adults in the room with a little less whimsy hanging out there on the streets. The real life value here is in balance. There's that word again. Funny. And there is tremendous value in being flexible without being capricious. In the Marine Corps, we used to say Semper Gumby. You've probably heard Semper Fi, but you probably have never heard Semper Gumby. Always flexible, baby. Those of you who don't know who Gumby is, look it up, Gumby. And Mike Tyson said once, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Same idea. It's all about being adaptable, but don't get pushed around by life. Now, the big idea here is to create a routine that removes mindless decisions from your day. And there's so many mindless decisions. We struggle with so much stuff about what kind of clothes am I going to put on me? What am I going to eat? What am I going to do? Which water bottle am I going to take? What am I going to put in my, it's ridiculous. You're wasting too much brain space on this. But you need to develop the mindset to adapt when life inevitably punches you in the face, when the universe comes around and says, hey, you might have created a routine, but wabow. Well, you need to be able to pivot, develop the mindset to adapt, because the universe doesn't happen to you. It just happens. You're not in charge of the universe, but you are in charge of how prepared you are when it shows up. So let's talk about rut versus routine. By the way, sidebar, versus. For the language people out there, you're going to love me for this. For everybody else, maybe this is going to help. Versus means opposing or against. Them versus them. Atlanta versus Boston. Verse is an organized collection of words and lines in a poem or a song. They are not interchangeable. So it's not rut verse routine. Verses and verse. Two different things. Anyway, moving on. We need to separate these two words because people confuse them constantly, rut and routine. Here's a rut. Rut. You ever notice how the sound of some words just gives punch to the meaning? Like you hear rut and you're like, there's no way that can be good. A rut is a trench. It's a groove, a furrow you get stuck in. It's difficult to escape, and it requires effort to claw your way out of it. Like this rut. Here's another one I think about. On this very same trip, when we were flying home, we drove from the east side of Glacier National Park to Kalispell, and we stayed in Kalispell, Montana for a night or two, I forget, and did whatever stuff there is to do there. I remember we had ice cream at a pretty awesome place. I wish I could remember off the top of my head what the name of it was called. It was something creamery. It was right in downtown Kalispell. Go there. It's awesome. Anyway, we were flying out of the Kalispell airport, which if you've ever seen the show Wings, a lot like that. I got a whole bunch of stories about that airport experience, but we'll boil it down to this. Our departure got delayed as we were sitting there, and the pilot's coming over. We're just going to be a few more minutes. We got a little difficulty, blah, blah, blah. We're like, did the left phalange fall off? I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, what had happened was there was a rut in the tarmac upon which our plane sat. The wheel of our plane got stuck in a rut. They had to go get a bigger tractor. Cletus had to go get a bigger truck to push our airplane back out of this rut. So we were sitting there in the plane while they were physically, the pushback truck that they used to push you away from the gate, they were rocking us back and forth to get us out of this rut. So yes, you don't want to be in one of those. Nothing good happens in a rut. Figuratively, though, a rut, we talk about the dictionary definition, but figuratively, a rut is thoughtless behavior that stunts growth. Think about that for a second. And if you want a modern example of peak rut behavior, just look around. Every single stinking time there's a tenth of a second pause in life, what comes out? The phone. Cannot stand to be bored or otherwise unoccupied, just a little free. You want to talk about not planning? How about that? Let your mind wander for a second, but that's the rut you're in because you've been trained to pull that phone out, that handheld glowing god of mental sawdust. Every time there's a microsecond of pause in life. Here comes the phone. Here comes the scrolling. Here comes the counterfeit dopamine. Here comes the counterfeit cortisol. We're riding a roller coaster, baby. Talk about a rut. We've normalized that robotic behavior, and it should not be normal. It is not okay. Now, how about routine? A routine is calm. A routine is repeatable. It's efficient. It's time-saving. How are any of those things not stuff you want in your life? A routine is intentional order. A rut is unintentional chaos. One creates freedom, the other destroys it. So how do ruts begin? Ruts start with disorganization. No planning, no forethought, no looking after future you. That leads directly to chaos, which leads right to stress, which is you overwhelmed and you surrendering. Now we're not getting anything done. Now we're stuck in a rut. And this starts early in life. That's why parents try to teach kids, hey, pick up your toys when you're done and put them in the chest. Same thing, routine. When you're done, get used to, and you carry, guess where you carry that, right? Adulthood. You're done with your things, put them away. Wash your hands. Wash your hands before dinner. Wash your hands after you do something gross. Building good routines for the future. Drink water. All these things. Go to bed at the same time every day. On and on and on. Building routines that build powerful adults. Okay? We're not trying to ruin childhood here. We're building foundations for adulthood because kids grow into adults, and adults without structure become overwhelmed humans living in chaos. That is a rut. And you know how God or the universe or whatever has a sense of humor? The ultimate test of this is freedom. Get a little freedom and put your seatbelts on, baby. Most of us crash hard when we first get freedom. College, first apartment, first job. Oh boy, no structure, no guardrails. Oh crap, no parents. Holy moly, they were right. I did need them. Wisdom is something, isn't it? Freedom is the ultimate test of self-control, and basically everybody fails that test a lot for a long time. But that's okay. Early failure is actually good. Early failure builds resilience, but ignoring the lessons of failure, that leads to years of frustration. And once again, that is a rut. Now, here's the good news. You can get out. You can get Cletus's truck to shove you out of that rut. And the starting point is shockingly simple. Declutter your brain space. Let me ask you something. Wallet, watch, phone, keys, glasses, water bottle, whatever your list is. Could you find them right now without thinking? If not, you are wasting irreplaceable time and mental bandwidth every single day. You are spending brain energy on problems that should not exist. So organize the minutia, create routines for the tiny things. Put your things in the same place every day. Whatever, your earbuds, your keys, your wallet, your watch, your phone, your water bottle, whatever the heck. The things that you need to get you into from one space to the other, from transitioning from 1 minute to the next, 1 hour to the next, one evolution to the next throughout your day. Things that don't matter, put them in the same place. What I mean is don't matter. I don't mean that they don't matter to you. I mean that whether you put your water bottle on the shelf by the front door after you fill it up, or if you put it in the cabinet, whatever, that's the part that doesn't matter. Just pick a spot and put it there where you can grab it without thinking about it. That's how you organize the minutia. That's creating routines for the tiny things. Fold your clothes. Get your clothes ready so that your crap isn't in just a giant messy pile, okay? Do the dishes. Get the dishes out of the way. Don't let stuff pile up. Prep tomorrow tonight, right? Why? So your brain can stop wasting energy on trivial nonsense and start focusing on meaningful pursuits. Doesn't that sound good? Routine clears the runway for purpose. So do that thing we talked about a few episodes ago, that Semper thing. Start with one thing. Do it better. Repeat it over and over and over and over again until it's not something that you do anymore. You don't even think about it. It just becomes part of you. It is the background operating system. Then you move on to the next thing. You're building a routine of positive action that allows you to take on bigger responsibilities without being overwhelmed. Routine builds capability. Capability builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum, and momentum builds freedom. So what are the real life applications? How about fitness? This is balance fit, right? I'm a personal trainer. I'm a nutritionist. Are you skipping workouts because of mismanaged time? I wanted to go to the gym, but I couldn't make time. By the way, you can't make time. You can organize your time. But I couldn't get there. I just couldn't find the time. You can't find it either. Work, traffic, email, blah, 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 whatever nonsense you got going on. Does it take you forever to leave the house? That goes back to what we talked about a second ago with where's your water bottle? Where are your keys? Where's this? Where's that? Does it take you 15 minutes just to get out the door? Create a gym go bag. Forget about the rest of the stuff with life. Create a gym go bag with the stuff that you need in there. Take those decisions, take those actions off the table and just have it, snatch it up, go. You're ready. Do you get derailed when the gym is crowded? You got a plan for a workout. You're doing, chest and triceps or whatever. And you get there and all the Smith machines are taken or all, whatever. The whole thing is so now you don't know what to do. Well, create a plan B and a plan C. This is part of the routine. Be able to pivot, remove friction. What about nutrition? Meal plans. Yep, everybody hates that, right? No, I don't want to plan. I just want to. Well, guess what? Not having a meal plan, not having a shopping list, not having a set routine that you do for your meals, you spend a lot of time thinking. Yeah, and listen, we've all done this. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? Do you want pizza? I don't want pizza. Do you want burgers? Do you want Chinese? Do you want? Screw it. We'll just eat ice cream. What's in the pantry? What's in the fridge? Yeah, just eat that. And just the hell with it. Just order pizza, right? Make a plan for this. I personally, now not everybody can do this, and not even everybody in my house can do this, but about 300 and let's say 30 days of the year, I eat the exact same thing for every meal every day because I don't care. Food is fuel. I need the nutrition. I need the calories. I need the macros. I need the micros. I need all the things. I just need to get it in me as efficiently as possible without thinking about it. There was a time in my life, mostly when our daughter was living at home, that I was really mindful about cooking and doing all the things. I don't care anymore. Don't care. It wastes my time. It wastes my bandwidth, and I don't need it. I have this. I have this. I have this. And yes, I weigh all my food, but guess what? I got in such a routine with weighing my food, I don't have to do it anymore because I know what it looks like. I still do. Spoiler. But you get to the point where you don't need to rely on that because you know your routine. It takes me about 7 minutes from opening the refrigerator at dinner time to get my ingredients to sitting down at the table and eating. And I eat a great dinner. Okay? We'll talk about that later. Anyway, create routines for daily life. Have an evening routine. This involves getting yourself ready for bed. No screens, by the way. Get damn screens out of your bedroom. Bedroom's for sleeping, and one other thing, which is a different show. But create an evening routine that revolves around turning the TV off at a certain time, the same time. Brushing your teeth, flossing, putting the dishes away, making sure the doors are locked, tidying up everything. Create this routine and get it locked in and get yourself in bed. Do these things. These will actually ease you. You want to talk about mental health? Stuff like this will ease your mind. But get the screens away. Stop staring at your phone in bed. It's ridiculous. Same thing for the morning. Create a morning routine. Everybody's running around and creating traffic accidents because they're late. I'm late. No, you just mismanaged your time. Create a routine. Small anchors create smooth days, and that's what a routine is, an anchor. Organizing daily minutia is like cleaning a messy hard drive. Why waste bandwidth on meaningless decisions when you could use that energy for growth, for relationships, for creativity, for purpose? Routine is not restrictive. Routine is liberating. But the misconception of routine has a life of its own. Some people hear this whole message and think, you want me to schedule every second of my day. No, absolutely not. Good mental health requires room for stuff and nonsense. You need free play, free thought, free time. You need to meander sometimes, just not on the road or in the grocery store aisle, please. Routine is the framework that supports the freedom to freelance. Routine creates space for spontaneity. Routine makes whimsy possible. Routine prevents ruts. So here's your challenge. Try this for 1 month. Build small routines. Organize the background of your life. Or don't. Keep drowning in chaos and complaining about life. It's your call. But don't confuse routine with restriction. Routine is the bridge from chaos to capability. Routine turns drowning in the mire into swimming in the sunshine. I would like to thank you very much for spending a little bit of your precious and valuable and unrenewable time with me today on Balance Fit Radio. If this conversation resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need it. Make sure that you're subscribed and do all the likes. That I hate talking about that crap, but you know how it helps. So let me leave you with this thought today from David Hume. He is happy whom circumstances suit his temper, but he is more excellent who suits his temper to any circumstance. Until next time, train intentionally, recover intelligently, move with a sense of purpose. And remember, your life, your potential. Peace out, homies, and I'll see y'all next time.